Good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here today. My name is Lori Bays. I am the Assistant City Manager for the City of Phoenix. And obviously with me today is Vice Mayor Ann O'Brien, who you all know. So I wanted to welcome you to today's budget hearing for the proposed fiscal year 25-26 trial budget. Before we begin, I want to also introduce Mario Barajas, who is our interpreter. Mario, would you say a few words?
Yes, thank you, Lori. Good morning. My name is Mario Barajas. I'm going to be serving today as an interpreter together with my colleague Elsie Duarte. I'm going to be making an announcement and introducing ourselves now to our Spanish speakers. Buenos días. Mi nombre es Mario Barajas y voy a estar sirviendo como intérprete junto con mi colega Elsie Duarte. Quisiéramos anunciarles de que si acaso van a necesitar el servicio de intérprete, pueden acudir con mi colega Elsie, así ella les puede facilitar con los auriculares para poder escuchar la interpretación hacia el español. Muchas gracias. Thank you, Lori.
Thank you, Mario. Now I'd like to introduce Vice Mayor O'Brien to say a few words.
Thank you so much, Lori. I am so proud to be here and represent District 1. I want to thank everyone for coming out. The purpose of today's meeting is to provide an overview of the city's trial budget and to hear from all of you. Your input matters and helps shape city programs and services. We'll share a short video, which is about 7 minutes long, and then we'll hear from the constituents about your ideas and suggestions for the budget. We have representatives from all the city departments here to answer questions, and I want to thank all the city staff for being here today and for your work year-round for our city. Before we get started, I just have a few things to say. We have had some challenging financial times here. The situation is that we're facing a $39 million shortfall, largely due to actions taken by the state legislature. The income tax formula was changed from a tiered system to a flat tax rate, and unfortunately the projections of what that would do to the state shared revenue was significantly inaccurate. The state also has banned cities from collecting residential rental tax, and so over the next 3 years, that is expected to cost us $285 million. All of our city departments have gone through their budgets to look at how they could reduce their spending and submitted cuts totaling $24 million. The council was faced with cutting departments more if we didn't pass a TPT increase. Otherwise, we would have had to cut services and jobs. I could not in good conscience ask for more cuts, especially from public safety and other priorities. I heard from constituents, including homeless services, that we needed more funding. And so on that note, I'm pleased to share that a major milestone in the fire department's community assistant program, as of Monday, the program achieved its goal of having a behavioral health dispatcher available 24/7. These are the kinds of programs we must continue to support so that our most vulnerable residents are interacting with trained professionals who can provide services, and so that our police officers and firefighters can focus on their other duties. The video coming up will include the council's action to increase the sales tax. It was not an easy decision for me or my colleagues, but for every $100, it equals about 50 cents and does not apply to groceries. And some positive news regarding the trial budget: it will include issuing bonds that will cover certain public safety capital costs, including new fire stations in Districts 1 and 2. While locations haven't been exactly finalized, we are looking in District 1 for it to be around the Peoria and 35th Avenue alignment. Having these new stations will reduce critical response times from about 8.5 minutes to under 4.5 minutes. So I'm here to listen and look forward to getting your feedback. With that, I'll turn it back over to Lori.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. I also want to introduce to you today Budget and Research Director Amber Williamson. Amber is here also to hear your feedback, and she is one of the main architects of the budget. She will be presenting the trial budget to the City Council on May 6th, and the Council will be voting on the budget on May 21st. So your feedback today is really important as we finalize the budget and going into that process. You can also find information on the budget on the tabloid at the main table. It is available in English and Spanish, and you can visit our website if you'd like more information at phoenix.gov/budget. If you would like to speak at today's hearing on the budget, please fill out a comment card. Looks like one of these. And turn it in, and we will be able to call your name, or you can also just fill out a comment if you do not wish to speak, and just mark that you do not wish to speak. So we will now play a short video on the budget so you can get some more information on what it includes, and immediately following the video, we will move to speaker comments. Thank you.
The City of Phoenix thrives because of the services we all rely on, from keeping our neighborhoods safe to offering enriching programs and maintaining vital infrastructure. And like any well-run household, planning for the future starts with the budget. Right now, the City of Phoenix is developing its budget for the fiscal year 2025-2026, a roadmap of how we'll allocate resources to best serve our community. This isn't a process that happens overnight. Throughout the year, city departments work hard to estimate the costs of maintaining the services we currently enjoy. Then in March, the city manager proposes a preliminary budget, a trial budget, that carefully balances estimated resources with projected expenses. This important document is now ready for everyone to look at. Your voice matters. In April, the city actively seeks your input through community budget hearings, by phone, email, and even on social media. This feedback is crucial to ensuring the budget reflects the priorities of our residents and the City Council. Then in May, the City Council will carefully consider all this input before voting on the budget, with legal adoption scheduled in June. Finally, the property tax levy ordinance will be adopted in early July. To understand the budget, it's helpful to know how it's structured. Think of it as three main accounts. The general fund is like our main checking account. It supports many of the core services you see every day: our libraries, parks, senior and youth programs, and critical police and fire services. This fund is made up of revenue from things like general sales tax, property taxes, and a portion of state income, sales, and vehicle taxes, as well as some fines and fees. Then there are enterprise funds. These operate more like businesses, charging those who directly use their services. This includes departments like Water Services, Phoenix Sky Harbor International Airport, and Solid Waste. Finally, special revenue funds are like accounts with specific instructions. These funds are earmarked for particular purposes, often coming from grants or voter-approved sales taxes dedicated to things like parks and preserves, transportation, and public safety. Now let's talk about the current budget situation. Like many cities, Phoenix is facing some financial headwinds. Over the next few years, we're looking at potential structural deficits, primarily due to actions taken at the state level and rising costs. Recently, the state eliminated the ability for cities to collect residential rental sales tax, and they also lowered the individual income tax rate. These changes mean less ongoing revenue coming into the city. But this is where careful planning and proactive measures come in. Our city staff and leadership have been working diligently to find solutions to ensure we maintain a balanced budget as required by state law, and to ensure the city can continue to deliver to residents existing services without cutting programs or filled jobs to balance the budget. To make sure the budget can stay balanced, offset the losses from state actions to reduce our revenues, provide the necessary resources to protect current programs, and provide the funds necessary for critical adds to the budget, several strategies are included in this trial budget. The City Council voted on March 18th to increase the transaction privilege tax rate from 2.3% to 2.8% effective July 1st, 2025. This will generate revenue to pay for programs and services. Reprioritize the current general fund budget to reduce expenditures without impacting service delivery or filled jobs, and provide capacity to add higher priority items. Set aside projected resources to help balance future budgets and protect against any economic slowdown or further impacts from the state to limit local control and further reduce our revenues. Use excise tax proceeds to finance large public safety capital and infrastructure projects, including 2 new fire stations and additional apparatus. Now let's talk about what this budget means for some key services. For the Phoenix Fire Department, there's a proposal for additional funding to reduce emergency response times. This includes hiring more firefighters to staff existing and new fire stations and new apparatus. Addressing homelessness remains a critical priority. The proposed budget includes revised estimates of $4.5 million in general fund resources for the Office of Homeless Solutions in 2025-26. This funding is needed because some of the federal pandemic-era funding is ending. This money will help continue shelter operations at places like Rio Fresco, the Phoenix Navigation Center, and the Washington Shelter, as well as support heat relief efforts for our unsheltered neighbors. Looking ahead, the budget also proposes a $5.6 million addition to the non-general fund budget for the Water Services Department. This would fund the reopening of the Cave Creek Water Reclamation Plant, allowing the city to expand its capacity for wastewater treatment and water purification, ensuring we can meet future needs. These are thoughtful strategies aimed at addressing the financial challenges while protecting the vital services that make Phoenix a great place to live, work, and visit. Our city employees, from our dedicated first responders to the professionals managing our parks and libraries, are deeply committed to serving this community and always have your best interests at heart. They work hard every day to ensure Phoenix remains a vibrant and thriving city. We understand that discussing budget figures can sometimes feel overwhelming. But know that the City of Phoenix has a long history of responsible budgeting. By engaging in this process together with your input and the careful work of city professionals, we are confident that we will continue to deliver the essential services you expect and deserve, building a stronger Phoenix for tomorrow.
Wonderful. So our first speaker this morning is Joe Moreno. Wonderful.
Good morning. My name is Joe Moreno. I'm here representing Local 493, which represents the firefighters in Phoenix. First, I just want to thank the mayor, Vice Mayor O'Brien, and the majority of the council members that supported this increase. It wasn't an easy decision due to the actions from the state. They were kind of forced to do this, so city services weren't cut. I'm here to support the proposed budget for the fire department. It's going to help us reduce response times, which are nearly double what they should be. It's going to provide us with equipment, new firefighters to staff some of the new stations coming online. Again, our job is to be there for people when they need us. We want to not only be there for them in their time of need, but we want to be there in a timely manner as well, and with the resources that we need to provide those services. Again, I'm just here showing support for that. Thank you for your time, and have a good day.
Thank you so much, Joe. And then our next speaker is Stan Bates.
Good morning, Vice Mayor and other members of the committee here. My name is Stan Bates. I'm a long-term resident of District 1. I fully support our Phoenix Fire Department, our Phoenix Police Department, and the Gated Alley program from NSD. Those are 3 vital programs throughout our community that help resolve all the issues that we see in our area. So I would fully support the full funding of those areas. I'd also like to see the refunding to allow our community action officers to be rehired. We lost 3 during this past year. due to needing to go back to patrol. So if we can get those refunded, because those positions mean a lot to the community, and so that's what I'm here to talk about. So glad to answer any questions anybody might have.
Thank you so much, Dan, for your
Thank you.
comments. Is there anyone else who has a card or would like to speak? And that was my super long Zoom awkward pause. All right. Well, then it looks like we have heard from both of our community members. And then, Lori, I just want to make a couple of closing comments. If you would like more details, you can find them at phoenix.gov/budget. There you can try to create your own city budget. You can manipulate some of the numbers, and as long as it's balanced, because we at the City of Phoenix must have a balanced budget. There's an online tool designed to educate and engage and get your feedback. So that feedback, though, is shared with city management as well as myself and all of my council colleagues. Your voice matters. I want to thank everyone for showing up and sharing your input. Lori?
That concludes our budget hearing for today. Again, appreciate you all being here.